Well, everyone, the slingshot is engaged. And now it's a question of, do we actually get released to the upside, or does it break where we fall back down, where we see a little bit more red? What I find very interesting about this is we've seen something from BlackRock that has now happened 3 straight days. That last time led us on a pump, which was very exciting. And in fact, what we're continuing to see for SHIB is these great signs, these great fundamentals. It's on the verge of a breakout. And in fact, when we're looking at leverage right now across the crypto market, there's been this tight compression once again that may in fact cause this breakout to the upside we've been waiting for. So if you guys are new or haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, hit that bell. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So yeah, when we're looking at SHIB right now, guys, this is a great spot to be. For those who aren't familiar with TA or who haven't looked at the charts as of late, what we're seeing SHIB right now do is, again, continue to target this 20-day moving average, but that's not the big story here. The big story is actually this big inverse head and shoulders that Shiba Inu is currently playing into. And that is what Shiba Inu wants to do. It wants to break out and go on a run to the upside. Now, what you need to know is around the crypto space is we are seeing this exact formation play out on most charts. I talked about it earlier in my ADA video, which is a great sign. Ethereum's kind of doing its own thing right now. Ethereum, we know, has been putzing around and showing weakness for a while. BTC showing the same thing as well, right? Here's your inverse head and shoulders playing out. Here's your neckline, and we might be on a potential breakout for BTC. And what's interesting about this is two things. First of all, last time we actually saw BlackRock doing what they're doing right now, which is now, although we had an unload day, is actually accumulate an unload day overall for institutional players. They have actually accumulated 3 straight days. So I'll show you guys this here. You guys can see 3 straight days of accumulation by BlackRock. And why this is so important is this is a pretty drastic shift from what they have been doing as of late, which has been consistently unloading or just waiting. And the last time we actually had 3 straight days of accumulation for BlackRock, we saw BTC run from 84K, which is where it's at right now, all the way up to 88K. Now, again, I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen for sure, but that could be something that does in fact allow the market to go on a little bit of a run where we see a BTC breakout, where we start to see SHIB make some moves here as well. In fact, when we're looking at BTC here as well, let me just show you guys something I talked about in my ADA video earlier today. We're actually on the verge of having a breakout once again. This is this 20-week moving average. This is our bull market support band. And we haven't been and closed a weekly candle above here since all the way back in February. This is where BTC likes to get and live above in bull market cycles. And unfortunately, the only times that it has ever closed weekly candles below this support is following Black Swan events. And if you guys remember, in February, we had 2 major Black Swan events, largest liquidation event in crypto history and the largest exchange hack in crypto history. All right. So now that BTC is floating above this 50-week moving average as well, this was a perfect bounce spot, a perfect pivot. And this is usually what slingshots us back to the upside towards bigger breakouts. Now, understand that, we're still dealing with a lot of the news that's floating around, right? A lot of this has to do with, the US and China. A lot of it has to do with economic concerns. For yesterday, if you missed it, we saw some red in the crypto market and then a nice bounce back. And what this was coming off of was Jerome Powell speaking and basically giving us a lot of the same crap that he has been. Inflation could go higher because of tariffs, and there's uncertainty surrounding that. The economy's in a good spot despite that. And so what they're basically just doing is they're just dragging their feet, letting the economy slow down. Right now, inflation has dropped to some of the lowest levels we've seen in a long time. And if you guys want, you can go check out Trueflation because it shows this data. So the question is their hand going to be forced? Are they going to have to do rate cuts very soon? I'm thinking that we have a very high likelihood of an interest rate decrease coming in May. And this is going to become very obvious when we get to the end of this month, because if you're not familiar with the end of this month, we are going to get the Q1 GDP report. And I'm thinking that we're going to see a little bit of a slowdown. That's why inflation has been dropping off on the manufacturing side. That's why it's been dropping off on the consumer side. It's because we are, in fact, in a little bit of an economic slowdown. And so in order to counteract that, and they need to increase spending, in the economy. And the way you do that is you drop interest rates, right? You ease things up just a little bit. So in the bigger grand scheme of things, we're making the right progress towards this turnaround in the crypto markets, in the economy. We have a perfect setup for a breakout to the upside. And it's just a question of, again, do we get that shot to the upside, or does our slingshot snap and we maybe come down and retest a little bit further? So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I appreciate you as always. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below. What do you think is going to happen here? I forgot to show one other thing. All right, I'm gonna show you guys quick. Sorry. What we've also seen is this huge compression in terms of leverage on both sides once again for Bitcoin. All right, we're sitting major long liquidations beginning at about 83K. We have short liquidations really beginning at about 85.6. So we're kind of sitting dead center here. It's a question of which way does the market get pushed? Do we get boring once again? We'll have to just be patient, watch, and wait and see how it plays out. So I appreciate you guys. Have a great day. Show your love below. That's it, I swear. But I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.